guys, this is Jack, and today we're going to be talking about Hamnet. This is the new Chloe Zhao movie that recently just premiered just not too long ago, back in late August at Telluride. But I was able to check this out finally at the Montclair Film Festival just yesterday as I'm recording this video. And I kind of want to share my thoughts about this film because I just want to kind of really capture the essence of why I really loved this film. This film has light spoilers, so if you want to, jump out of this video and just, focus on the ratings and the awards prospects, go ahead and do that. But for here, I'm going to give a light plot synopsis of the film. So starting from the beginning, this is a new Chloe Zhao movie. She's recently off of the Marvel train with Eternals, but even before that, she did Nomadland, which won Best Picture and Best Actress, and it really put her at the top of her game as far as being one of the most attainable directors working today. And I've always been waiting for a new film from her, especially coming hot off of Eternals, which I will defend wholeheartedly, mainly because I think that film was savagely critically panned, mainly because I think the film was very different from any other Marvel film in that entire era. But I think going forward from all of that, Chloe Zhao is just here to return to her normal self, as Hamnet is about William Shakespeare and his wife and the whole story behind the making of Hamlet. And the reason why Hamnet is the name that it is because it's translated into several languages. We say Hamlet in America, but in other places, and especially in older English, Hamnet is the original language of the play. And it is also the name of William Shakespeare's son in this film. And yeah, this film is basically historical fiction where it's taking a lot of historical moments in William Shakespeare's life, but also stretching it to its boundaries as far as making it pretty fictional, but there's still some truth to it. And Paul Mescal plays William Shakespeare, the person who created the famous texts, and Jessie Buckley plays the wife, Agnes, who is a woman who is part of the forest, and she's really into the forest, and she's kind of categorized as a witch for a lot of people who have met her in her life, especially the people who live in her town. And from the beginning, William is at a point where he's very locked into the artistic boundaries and space, and he's trying to make more art while also being punished by his family for not conforming to society's norms. And William Shakespeare meets Agnes in the beginning of the film in the forest, and they immediately click and have this romantic relationship. And in the first 30 minutes of the film, you see Agnes and William have this romantic relationship. They bond with each other. They really understand the ways of the forest and the ways of artistic boundaries. And from there, these two people share a few babies. One of them is a son, two of them are daughters. And from the rest of the film, you're following this couple as they're going through really hard times, especially the traumatic baggage of just dealing with sickness. And I won't spoil it from here, but a tragic end happens to one of the siblings, and it turns into a whole experience where you're following Agnes as she's going through the death of her son, and William, who is in and out of the frame while this tragic event is happening. And Chloe Zhao, her direction in this film is very slow-paced, deliberate, but also at the same time, it's still accessible, it's still easy to grasp. There's a lot of moments where you really feel for a lot of the characters, especially Agnes, who once she loses her son in this film, which isn't a spoiler because it is a part of the narrative and is shown in the promotional material behind this film, this is where the film really starts to cave in, and you see Jessie Buckley try to communicate to the audience her emotional story. And I think Jessie Buckley, right off from the jump, delivers probably one of the best performances that you'll see this year. Best female performances, best leading performances in general, especially when it gets to that moment where she does lose the love of her life, the second love of her life, or maybe the first love of her life, the son, Hamnet, who is played by Jacoby Jupe, who is the younger brother of Noah Jupe, who is also in this film, who plays the mirror of Hamnet in the play Hamlet. But yeah, like, this whole sequence where she loses her son and then she has to kind of bring all the like the traumatic response behind that, you know, thing. It's really, really intense, sad, depressing, but also at the same time, it's like a really beautiful just compass of just emotions. And also at the same time, Chloe Zhao's direction is very just lived in, and I was really like locked into the whole atmosphere of the film. And Max Richter, his music in this film is really rich. He uses actually one super famous piece that he used in a lot of movies, especially with Arrival. You'll know the piece when you hear it if you've seen Arrival or some other films, but it is recontextualized as a way to move the narrative forward. And the way it's used here is just perfect. Like, it's probably one of the most cathartic pieces of music that I've heard in the last 5 years. And the way it's used here is just, it's perfect, man. And again, Jessie Buckley, her performance is just, it's very lively. I would say the same thing with Paul Mescal, Jacoby Jupe. Emily Watson also plays a role in this. She's the mother of William Shakespeare, Mary Shakespeare, and she's kind of like the evil mother who's kind of like angry at the whole idea of Agnes marrying William, even though Agnes is portrayed as a witch for a lot of people. But then it kind of like softens a bit once Mary takes a hold of the siblings who are born into this world. But yeah, like going back to like the performances, Paul Mescal, like I think this is probably another just perfect role for him. He's probably one of the best sad boys in cinema right now, because he knows how to pull emotions out of people, out of audiences. And this is another one where you'll just be depressed by the end of the movie, and rightfully so, because I think William Shakespeare as a human being is just probably one of the most 3D characters in literature, in real life. And I think Paul Mescal really portrays this character really, really well and gives it his own type of like essence. And Paul Mescal, there's a moment where he does do the to be or not to be speech that's super famous in a lot of, you know, our own, you know, spaces. We already know like the whole to be or not to be speech from a lot of Shakespearean adaptations, but this one here, it's used in a way where it drives the whole entire point home in terms of where William Shakespeare was after this tragic event happened to him and his family. And yeah, like when it happens, it's just like, yeah, that's really depressing, bro. But yeah, aside from all that, I think the direction in this is just, it's immaculate, it's very lively, it's lived in, it's something that is taken aback from the way Chloe Zhao is just very deliberate and detailed with her shot compositions and the way the story flows and the way it just moves gracefully. And when the film kind of ends, it ends in a really perfect spot. And the final shot in this film, which I will not spoil here, is probably one of the best final shots of the year. And it really, again, drives the film home to the point where when the film ends, you feel the weight of just what happened throughout the entire narrative. And for that alone, I give this really high 5 out of 5. And yeah, this is one of the best masterpieces of this year. And I don't say that lightly for a lot of films that have come out this year. There's a few other films that have done this to me, but this is one where it definitely tracks the critical praise. So with that being said, award season wise, yeah, this is getting the Best Picture nomination. It's getting a lot of nominations, I'm thinking, and it certainly is the third runner-up as far as the season goes right now, because right now we're in the middle of One Battle After Another and Sinners being the top two choices for Best Picture. But if those movies kind of start to fade away once the season continues, I think Hamnet will be the top priority winner. Jessie Buckley, it's over, it's done. She's getting the Best Actress award, like hands down. Like there's nobody else to stop her in her tracks, and it's done, it's over. I know people are gonna go like, oh, what about Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good? I won't doubt that like Cynthia will give a great performance. I think she will. It'll take a village to have that movie to be, you know, completely garbage, which I highly doubt. But Jessie Buckley here, it's done. You can put her at the top. I would also say Paul Mescal because, quite frankly, I understand Stellan Skarsgård and Sean Penn are two top contenders for Best Supporting Actor since Paul Mescal has been submitted for Best Supporting Actor for this movie. And yeah, I understand those two choices, but I think Paul Mescal is a perfect choice for the award because he has been kind of giving a lot of great performances for the past couple of years, aside from, you know, Gladiator 2. But I think here, like, he's giving his all-timer performance, and yeah, sure, you can say that he has more time to get nominated in the years to come, just like, you know, Timothée Chalamet, but why not? I understand the whole ageist allegations, but it's definitely time for him to get the Oscar. And going back to other performances, I think Jacoby Jupe deserves the supporting actor nomination. Like, his performance in this was just immaculate, god-tier child performance. It's probably like top child performances in the past 5 years. Right up there with The Anatomy of a Fall kid, where even though he has limited screen time, like his screen time is just, it's very like bare. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like each like scene he's in, like it's very like lived in, and you understand like every aspect of his character. And when he does disappear in the final moments of his collapse, you really feel for his presence long after he's gone. But yeah, man, it definitely like whooped my ass. I was bawling the whole time. I saw this with my dad, and we were very emotional about it. So I definitely highly recommend it. Please check this film out. It is coming out Thanksgiving weekend. If you are at the festivals right now, as I'm recording this video, please do check it out. But again, that is all I need to say about this film. But yeah, overall, this movie was great. 5 out of 5. Thank you guys so much for checking this video out. I will be cranking out more reviews coming out of the Montclair Film Festival and other film festivals that I attended. I did attend the New York Film Festival, and I saw 2 movies, so I will be cranking those out also as well. And, you know, other award predictions, and you know the deal if you've been following me. And if you haven't been following me, please do. You know, like, subscribe, share the video, spread the word. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.